One of our PBT Institute members asked me a question that was so good, I just recorded an entire podcast on From Betrayal to Breakthrough about it, episode 378. So it'll be ready in a couple of weeks. But I wanted to give you sort of a summary of what we talked about. She's probably watching this right now, so this is for you. But I'm sure others have been through this, so this is for you as well. What happens when you're at an event, out with friends, whatever, and the topic of conversation is, oh my gosh, do you believe so-and-so had an affair? This one cheated with this one's going on, this is what's going on, whatever. And here you are, navigating your own betrayal. You are so hugely uncomfortable. What do you do? What do you do in a scenario like that? So I gave so many more examples of how to navigate this and how to handle it in the upcoming episode. Definitely check that out. But briefly, here are just a few ideas. One, have something prepared to say. If you say nothing, it may be glaringly obvious, besides you feeling so awkward, so horrible, so embarrassed, so ashamed, so everything, have something to say. And maybe it can be something like, I hope she's okay. I hope he's okay. I hope the kids are okay. Whatever, something. Can you walk away and just say, excuse me, I'll be right back. Go to the ladies' room, men's room, go get a drink, non-alcoholic, right? Something just to leave the conversation. So just how do you prepare yourself, beforehand? That's another thing you can do. I have a friend who used to tell me that she would energetically protect herself in this protective bubble. And that's what she would do before she'd go somewhere, so she was prepared. So can you protect yourself energetically? Can you have something to say if if the conversation comes up? Can you, what about someone who's just telling a story and they have just zero empathy? So maybe they know, but they feel like, oh my gosh, for sure, they're over it by now, so I can just share this story. Or they're not thinking at all because they have no empathy. So they're just telling this story. What do you do there? How do you handle that? Do you say something to the person? Do you not? Chances are, if they have no empathy, they're really not going to understand you're struggling with this. So is it worth it to you? Is it just something that you prepare yourself ahead of time, and again, have that something to say? Or if someone's just telling a story, do you need to say anything at all? And it's so interesting. I think it was Neil Donald Walsh who said, and I always botch up quotes, but something like, you can tell someone's level of consciousness by what they find entertaining. So this is the last piece of this. If your only conversation with your group is who's doing what to who, and that's the conversation, is it time for an upgrade? Is that it? Is that all you talk about? Or are you ready for something more? And I talk about all the time the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. And very often when we leave stage 3 and enter into stage 4, we become very deliberate and intentional about who we spend our time with. So I'm not saying you have to drop your current group at all. But if you find this is the conversation, are you ready for a different level of conversation, something more meaningful, something more uplifting, more inspiring, something more fulfilling, right? Finally, the last piece of this whole thing is if you are rebuilding with someone, how are they handling this with you when this comes up? You want to make sure they are taking full and complete responsibility. They are there for you in the way you need. This is not about their own shame. There should be no shaming and blaming. Are they showing up for you in the way you need? And it could sound something like, I am so sorry. That was probably so uncomfortable for you. What do you need? How can I help? Something like that. So lots to think about. I'm sure you've experienced this. If you've experienced betrayal, you're in a scenario where this has happened. How have you handled it? And share what you've done. I'd love to know. And hopefully some of these tips, tools, and strategies have helped you. And check out From Betrayal to Breakthrough, because there is a whole episode on this exact topic. Hope that helps.